Hey everybody! My name's Deb Procopio. Welcome to my vlog. I decided I'd vlog in my car today for my very first ever vlog. The reason being, it seems like that's what everybody does. When I looked around at vlogs and Facebook Live, I have no idea if everybody got kicked out of their house or something, but they're all in their cars. And since I have sensitive eyes and it's actually sunny out here in the middle of New York State and the snow, you get to look at these. So, first vlog, no pressure. I'm going to read a bunch of names and tell me what they have in common. Charlton Heston, Glenn Campbell, James Doohan, and if you don't know who James Doohan is, beam me up, Scotty. He was in the original Star Trek. He was Scotty. Casey Kasem from American Top 40 and the original voice of Shaggy in Scooby-Doo. Rosa Parks. If you don't know who that is, your history teacher sucks. Ronald Reagan, a former president. Robin Williams. Jimmy Stewart, old-time classic actor. Malcolm Young from AC/DC. And Norman Rockwell, classic American painter, who's been gone a long time. What do they all have in common? They have the same thing in common that both my in-laws and my mom is currently dealing with: Alzheimer's. And that's what this vlog's going to be about. So, it's a long story, but it started, I guess, about 2009 with the diagnosis of my father-in-law. He was diagnosed with Alzheimer's or dementia. Technically, okay, if you don't know the difference between Alzheimer's and dementia, they tell you that they can't tell you if you have Alzheimer's until you die and they dissect your brain. But the general rule is dementia that declines is Alzheimer's. You can get a stroke-related dementia that just might affect one part of your brain. But dementia, Alzheimer's, I'm going to use them interchangeably, basically. That's how that's going to go. But it was a horrible, it's just been a very long 10, 11, 12, 14? I don't even know where we're at. 13? 9, 11, 12 years. We're still dealing with it. We did not realize when my father-in-law was diagnosed that, hey, check out that sunshine come out and let me move this because that's just freaky looking. When my father-in-law was diagnosed, what we did not realize was my mother-in-law had it. Other family members kind of noticed before us, but none of my husband's siblings live here in town. One's out of state, the other two are about an hour and a half away. So we dealt with that. We had an Alzheimer's patient taking care of an Alzheimer's patient. Good luck with that one. And we finally came to the conclusion that they had to move for just a number of reasons. This is just an intro. I'll give you the backstory as we go, but they had to move into assisted living. And we started going to doctor's appointments and started getting moving in that direction. And I'm going to be honest with you, nobody tells you what to expect. Nobody tells you. Doctors, they went to I don't know what they're called. I don't know if they're I don't know if they're just a geriatrics doctor, dementiologist. I don't know what they're called. But that's who my father-in-law saw. They didn't do very much. They gave him a prescription for, I'm going to have to look up the medicine, but it's a very common one that they give. And we went to the doctors with him, and they'd go, oh, how you feeling? And he'd go, oh, okay. Oh, great. Are you eating well? Oh, okay. That's great. Here's your prescription. The problem with my father-in-law was, if you said, hey, let's go bungee jumping naked off the Rainbow Bridge over Niagara Falls, he'd go, oh, okay. Because that was his fallback answer to everything. And we learned that with dementia. And the doctor went, oh, okay, well, that's really great. Here you go. Here's your prescription. Come back in 3 months. And do what? They never told us what to expect. I mean, you kind of know, but you really don't know. Then we dealt with my mother-in-law. And then we got them all moved. And then my father-in-law died. My mother got diagnosed. And my brother doesn't live. I have one brother. He lives out of state as well. We were stuck with it all. We muddled our way through everything. We muddled our way through the doctors. We went through an assisted living nightmare where we were told that they could handle my father-in-law and they couldn't, and we were lied to get us in so they could get our money. And then the place got taken over by somebody, bought out, and it should have been, and they came in and fired everybody, which they should have, because we had people in there playing slap and tickle with each other instead of paying attention to the patients. My father-in-law's medicine got stolen. Just all sorts of crazy stuff. But when they turned around and said, guess what? He can't stay here anymore. You either need to take him home, which we couldn't, or you now have to pay out of pocket $20 an hour. $20 an hour, 24 hours a day to have somebody babysit him and walk around this place after him until you get him moved. Really? You're the ones who screwed us. And we ended up paying. We've been through that. We found another place for them to live. It's an awesome place for what, dementia sucks, but it's an awesome place. The people are fantastic there. You couldn't ask for more. Then, we muddled through the finances. We have dealt with the banks, the Security Exchange Commission for stocks and bonds and investments. They are a nightmare. I do mean nightmare. They are the hardest people to deal with. They are far and above. Social Security, they weren't quite as bad, although typically you get the wrong information first. We dealt with everything, just everything. It was disaster. We dealt with the Veterans Administration, filling out paperwork for that. We have dealt with dealing with all the paperwork for Medicaid. There's just so much. We dealt with lawyers, and you'll need one. You will need one if you own anything. You will need a lawyer. And we got screwed by the first lawyer who gave all our money away, who said, there's nothing we can do about it. There's a 5-year look back. I'm going to tell you about the 5-year look back. That is not always true. If you go into full skilled nursing, there's a 5-year look back. You're screwed. But when you go into assisted living, depending on the laws of your state, and I kind of assume, and I will have to verify this, but Medicaid is a national program. I don't think in the state of New York it's different than in the state of Wyoming. Although I could be wrong, but I don't think so. If you go into assisted living, there is a way to save what you have. Look at me. I'm dead serious. You know how we learned that? We got screwed by the first lawyer. Royally screwed. We'll leave that right there. Assisted living. Assisted living. People don't want to put their loved ones in, and I understand that, and we went through that. But there's just a realistic thing that comes up, and you don't have a choice. We knew our limits. They couldn't live with us. We have a house that has stairs. None of them could handle the stairs, and it wasn't going to happen for a number of reasons. And how do you find a good assisted living place? What do you do? There's a lot of things to look at. No one taught us anything. We literally tripped and stumbled through everything. The changes in personality, why they act the way they do, what is going on. No one told us any of that. It was just kind of like good luck. And my most favorite thing that I think, I looked online a little bit and read some things and realized they're kind of useless. Not useless. I guess I don't want to say that. It just really depends. But there's this infamous, hey, here comes the sun again. Woohoo! They will always tell you this. Never, ever ever, never, 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 ever, ever argue with a dementia patient. That's a good one. Hey, Mom, don't go put your hand in the wood chipper over there. Oh, well, you know, I don't want to argue with her. I'm just saying. I think my other favorite is redirect them, which does sometimes work. A lot of these things work and don't work, and sometimes you have to know really, truly how to manipulate them to get them to work. And so this vlog is going to be a story of our journey, my husband and I, who probably won't get on here because he gets camera shy, or I just annoy him, one of the two. And what we want to do is help you where we never got any help. I've seen the videos online where they're like 3-minute videos on, let's show you how not to argue. Let's show you how to redirect mom or grandma or whoever. And they're these sterile little 3-minute videos and everybody's like, oh, that worked really well. No, not always. How are you going to deal with them? How are you going to deal with them when you put them in someplace and they're begging you to come home and they're driving you crazy? Because what's going to happen is you're going to become the parents and they're going to become the child. What happens if you have just argumentative people? There are reasons they can't go into assisted living. There are reasons they cannot stay in assisted living. And in my fantasy vlog world, I would like to have some guests on here. I don't know really the particulars of it. I don't know if they would be allowed, but I would love to interview the woman who runs the place that all 3 of our parents have been in. I'd love to interview the recreation director there, just because they're really great. They're just really great people. And even if you keep your loved one at home, you want them at home as long as they can stay home. You never want to put them in too early, and it's such a delicate balancing act. And my mother, moving her, was in the middle of COVID, and I knew when I put her in, there was a very good chance I would never see her again. It was still the right decision. As hard as it was still the right decision. I'd love to get the lawyer that didn't screw us, who was awesome. Ooh, the sun went back in. Who was awesome and just was really, he had everything and what you really needed to know and how things worked. I don't know if I can get him on, he's part of a firm. I don't know if I could get the people from the facility that our parents were in. I'm going to have to ask on that one, because I think they would be great for question and answer and just to help everybody along. We will share all our secrets, things that we learned about redirecting, about not arguing, about what happens when you go to your mother's house and she's got the furnace half apart because, God, she's mechanically inclined. The furnace didn't work, and God knows it was not operator error. There is something wrong with that darn furnace. Thankfully, she got caught before she got too far. It's a hard road. I do not mean at all to degrade anybody that has the disease. It's horrible, but I'll be honest with you, if you don't laugh at some of this stuff, you're not going to make it, because it really is kind of funny sometimes. It's hard, but there are things that just crack you up. And yeah, it's really not meant to be mocking. I've seen people mock dementia. It's really rude and nasty, and it's, God forbid you ever go there or you ever have to take care of anybody. But there are things that are just stinking funny that come out of their mouth. There are behaviors that will crack you up, and you just, that's life. You have a choice. You can be angry, cry, and you'll do that. You'll get frustrated. Yeah, trust me, you'll get frustrated over and over and over, and you'll get frustrated. But there are some things out there that you can do, and hopefully this will just kind of help you out. And even if you decide to keep your loved one at home and you never put him in anywhere, just things to help you get through the day. And in terms of lawyers and assisted living, things that will maybe just lists of questions, how to interview your lawyers, how to interview and what to look for when you go in looking for assisted living places, things like that. I would also love to interview the woman in the finance office of the place that where our parents lived. She's awesome. Awesome. Knows everything, knows as much as a lawyer, knows the whole Medicaid system. She helped us through 3 Medicaid applications and 2 pooled trusts. Don't know what a pooled trust is? You might need one of those too. So stick around, come back. Maybe next time I won't do this in the car, because I gotta be honest with you, it's a winter day. Whew, sun's warm. But come on back. I got lots to share, and I hopefully it will just help you. Have a great day.